1975 sold out for this NFC Wild Card playoff game as the NFC West champion New Orleans Saints host the St. Louis Rams. I'm Al Michaels. Welcome to New Orleans. And never since the NFL went to this playoff format in 1990 has there been a more dangerous number 6 seed than the St. Louis Rams. But last year they got to the Super Bowl having to win 2 home games. This year they'll have to win 3 road games. First things first, if they win today, they face the Giants in the Meadowlands next Sunday. Meanwhile, the Saints went 0 for the 1900s in playoff wins. They've been in the league 34 years. They've never won a playoff game. They'll try to do that today under the guidance of Jim Haslett, who took over from Mike Ditka, who went 15-33 in his 3 seasons. Rams Saints coming up from New Orleans. On a clear and chilly day in New Orleans, we come back inside the Superdome along with Dan Fouts. Dan, we have an anomaly in this game. You have the number 6 seed on the road against the number 3 seed, and the 6 seed is favored to win fairly big.
Well, it's got to be because of playoff experience. The Rams had the ultimate experience last year when they went all the way and won the Super Bowl. Now the Saints feel they got a taste of playoff atmosphere last week, but they're embarrassed and mad at how poorly they played against the Rams, and they're determined to play more disciplined and more physical today. The Rams have a couple major questions. Which defense will show up, if any, for St. Louis? And on quarterback Kurt Warner's concussion situation, when a quarterback has a concussion, his reactions and decisions slow down. Now, in an offense that is designed on precision and timing, we'll see real early how Kurt feels by how well Kurt performs. Not bad having an aspirin like Marshall Faulk to hand the ball to, though, Al.
Against a very good Saint defense. That's the strength of the team. And this is a team that was 3-13 last year, 10-6 this year. Melissa Stark, how'd they do it?
Well, Al, first of all, they brought in a new head coach, Jim Haslett. He changed the attitude. He brought discipline. The players respect him. Second, they brought in 38 new players. Half of the starters out there today were guys who weren't even here last year. Now, you may think that they feel like the underdogs, but here's their mindset. They think that they played their worst game of the season last week against the Rams, but they only lost by 5 points. So they're very optimistic, Al.
And one of the reasons they played that worst game is one Marshall Faulk. He's always a treat to watch. We'll see him in action today, Eric Dickerson.
Well, that's right. Marshall's a great one. I'll tell you, Al, the consensus is if the Saints hope to win this game, they have to stop Marshall Faulk. Now, last week against the Saints, Marshall Faulk had 200 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Now, what the Rams offense did is put themselves in a win-win situation. They had a lot of 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1. What do you do in those situations? The Rams opted to run the football with Marshall Faulk with the quick hitting trap plays, the toss plays. Now, what the Saints need to do is forget about last week, stop all this talking, and get ready to play some football today.
Dennis Miller, you finished your first year on Monday night. We had a lot of great games on Monday night. It's a day game today, but the intensity is a little bit different.
Al, the pitch is so fevered, we just had to give it Tylenol. Welcome to the Deja Vu Bowl, folks. The bonfire, the wannabes preliminaries are over. We're down to the best 11 teams in the league. Now, these two are tough to figure out. On the one hand, it's hard to imagine that St. Louis can float down to Mississippi, beat the Saints 2 times in a row in their own home field. But then again, the Saints were only 3-5 this year in the Superdome. As a matter of fact, that marks the first time in history that a playoff-bound team had a losing record at home. One thing about today's game is for sure, though, and that's that the rest of the combatants in this tourney are probably sad that the Rams got in because they have life now. And as any Clint Eastwood aficionado will tell you, if you're going to hang them, you better hang them high.
But the Rams have the Marshal on Wild Card Saturday. Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, and the world champions coming into New Orleans into the Big Easy to face Jim Haslett's Western champion Saints.
Hi, I'm Chris Carter. I'd like to talk to you about a problem that can happen in your city, your community, to someone you love. The inability to tell the difference between a bid price and an ask price, a market order and a limit order. But thanks to programs like Web Shops, Schwab is making a difference. At Schwab branches across America, they'll teach you all about using the world's leading online broker.
Last year, Schwab held over 10,000 web shops. To sign up for one or to attend our other workshops, call 1-800-9-SCHWAB.
ABC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
New Orleans at the mouth of the Mississippi, beautiful New Orleans, some great sights, of course, with Bourbon Street and Jackson Square, and the site of several Super Bowls, including the Super Bowl following the 2001 season. This year's Super Bowl, of course, played in Tampa. Will either of these teams get there? First step today. If New Orleans wins, they go to Minnesota next Saturday. If the Rams win, they go to face the Giants in the Meadowlands on Sunday. Saints have won the toss. Back to receive is Fred McAfee. And McAfee is a Saint from long ago who then was around the league, primarily with the Pittsburgh Steelers, brought back here by Jim Haslett. Jeff Wilkins, who had a perfect year. He did not miss an extra point or a field goal attempt, despite missing several games with an injured leg. Sends it skyward, and away we go from New Orleans as McAfee takes it from the 4-yard line. Still on his feet, out past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now let's meet the New Orleans starting lineup, the backs and receivers.
Aaron Brooks, quarterback, University of Virginia.
Terry Allen, running back, Clemson University.
Brian Milne, fullback, Penn State University.
Willie Jackson, wide receiver, University of Florida.
Joe Horn, wide receiver, Douglas Byrd High School. Lamont Hall, tight end, Clemson University.
Aaron Brooks was a Green Bay Packer last year, was on the bench, and then the Saints acquired him in a trade earlier this year to back up Jeff Blake, out for the year with a broken foot. And on first down, they give the ball to Terry Allen, taking the place of the injured Ricky Williams. And here are the guys up front, a good New Orleans offensive front.
William Rove, offensive tackle, Louisiana Tech University.
Kyle Turley, offensive tackle, San Diego State University.
Wally Williams, guard, the Rattlers of Florida A&M University.
Chris Naoli, guard, University of Colorado.
Joey Fontenot, center, Texas A&M University.
Rofe, Naoli, and Turley were all #1 draft choices. From the 27 on 2nd and 6. Allen again for a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Let's meet the Ram defensive line and linebackers. And we have a little skirmish up at the 40-yard line. We have London Fletcher and Lamont Hall, the tight end, already going at it.
I think the Saints will make that trade.
Well, what happened there, I mean, Lamont Hall drove London Fletcher about 20 yards down the field. Here he is, 81 and 59, and then he pancakes him. Now he's going to dive on top. This is what we're going to expect, because this is what this rivalry is all about. It gets real chippy.
Well, maybe the coaches send them out, say they're going to be watching us. They're probably going to throw somebody out if there's a fight. Lamont, why don't you take their leading tackler out?
3rd down and 4. Chad Morton is the 3rd down back. Out of the shotgun, Brooks' first pass is caught. I think they're going to rule that it was caught, and he hit the ground, and then the ball came loose after the whistle. That appears to be the indication.
That was the signal that man right there, number 72, Terry Gerke, gave. He pointed to the ground as if the receiver
Player did
was
not
down.
have control of the ball. It's incomplete. 4th down.
And then he was overruled by another official looking from the other side.
The Saints fans have a beef with Gerke.
Here it is to Horn. Scary part about this play is watch how his leg gets bent over. That's why he let go of the ball. Looked like he hurt his right knee on that play.
And he is still down, and there he is, and he is their primary receiver by a mile.
Yeah.
He caught 94 balls this year. Ricky Williams, who's already inactive because of his mending ankle, would be second at 44.
Well, he really got bent over, too, on that right leg. This is a terrible sign for Saint fans to see their #1 threat being helped off the field.
This is a massive blow if Horn cannot come back, because he has had a breakout year.
Well, the one thing that Jim Haslett said is that they lost their quarterback, they lost their running back in Blake and Williams. Horn is actually the last of the superstars, the last of the guys that they can count on to make plays.
So Toby Goins' punt is fair caught at the 32-yard line by Oz Hakeem. Saints go 3 and out on their first possession. They work on Horn. Let's meet the Rams backs and receivers.
Kurt Warner, quarterback, University of Northern Iowa.
Marshall Faulk, running back, San Diego State University.
Robert Holcomb, fullback, University of Illinois.
Isaac Bruce, wide receiver, University of Memphis.
Torrey Holt, wide receiver, North Carolina State University.
Roland Williams, tight end, Syracuse University.
And Dan, we have to keep an eye on Torrey Holt because he's hurt.
Torrey Holt has a bad foot and a bad elbow. He will wear a brace on his left elbow.
And they start with 3 receivers to the right and then break out of that with Holt in motion. And on first down, they give the ball to Marshall Faulk, who picks up 5. Here's the Ram offensive front.
Orlando Pace, offensive tackle, Ohio State University.
Ryan Tucker, offensive tackle, Texas Christian University.
Tom Newton, left guard, Western Michigan University.
Adam Timmerman, offensive guard, South Dakota State University. Andy McCullum, center, University of Toledo.
Well, they say the concussion effects of a quarterback's playmaking decisions. Last night, Warner showed up for his pregame interview in an orange shirt and an orange tie, so I'm wondering about his lucidity.
Second down and 6 from the 37-yard line. And they give it to Faulk again. He takes it up to the 39-yard line. He touched the ball 39 times last week. Let's meet the Saint front 7 defensively.
Darren Howard, defensive end, Kansas State University.
Joe Johnson, defensive end, University of Louisville.
Norman Hand, defensive tackle, Ole Miss University.
Leroy Glover, defensive tackle, San Diego State University.
Keith Mitchell, outside linebacker, Texas A&M.
Mark Fields, outside linebacker, Washington State University.
Darren Smith, linebacker, University of Miami.
Glover, Johnson, and Howard all in double figures in sacks. Glover led the league with 17. Warner buys time on third down, escapes the sack, then throws, and it's caught for a first down by Roland Williams. So Warner passes his first test.
He certainly did. Roland Williams picks up the first down, but on the other end of it, it's when Leroy Glover, who had 17 sacks to lead the NFL, misses right here. Warner showing strength as he pivots away, heads down the field, finds his outlet tight end. That's a huge play for Warner's confidence and for this football team to be able to beat this pass rush single-handedly by the quarterback.
From the 44 on 1st and 10 after the game's first down. Faulk, and he runs right into big 99 Norman Hand, Saints secondary.
Alex Molden, cornerback, University of Oregon, Fighting Ducks.
Kevin Mathis, cornerback, East Texas State University.
Sammy Knight, strong safety, University of Southern California. Darren Perry, free safety, Penn State University.
Now that defensive backfield will see all 7 defensive backs in the game at one time. Ron Zook, defensive coordinator, says they got to match up. When the Rams go with 4 wide receivers, he'll put 7 DBs in the game.
2nd and 8. Play clock down to 2. They get it off at 1. And Warner, after the play fake throws, and coming back is Bruce to make the catch. He got position on Alex Molden and moves the ball into Saint territory.
Well, if it's first down, they're going to be throwing the ball to Isaac Bruce. Here he is on the top side. It's a down and to the out, but watch how sharp he cuts off his route there. Molden slips just a little bit, and Bruce with a great move there. The one thing, he hasn't been in the end zone very much lately. No touchdown catches for this great receiver in the last 6 games.
Warner had a little pressure from Norman Hand. How do the Chargers let players like that lead that organization?
Hand actually gave him a pretty good whack at the 34-yard line after a 20-yard gain. Back they go to the league MVP, and Faulk fights his way for 4 or 5 yards. He does that so brilliantly, it looks like he stopped at the line of scrimmage. The next thing you know, it's 2nd and 5.
I know, it's like he's doing the Charleston. The feet are up, they're down.
What a thrill for him to be able to play in his hometown. Back-to-back games, 6 days apart. Here's some of those Charleston moves there, Dennis.
Well, he went to Carver High School in New Orleans, and tell you a little bit about his all-around play. He played QB, running back, wide out, and cornerback for Carver.
There are his numbers in his 2 seasons with the Rams. Rams on 2nd and 6 into double coverage, and it's almost intercepted and then almost caught on the rebound by Hakeem. Molden and Perry were back there. Bruce, the intended receiver, and alertly Hakeem came in and almost picked off the deflection for a touchdown.
Well, Molden and Perry played great defense. Unfortunately, it was on each other. They might have had an interception here.
Here, Hakeem, ball underthrown. Molden gets the ball knocked away by Perry, and you're right, Al. Isaac Bruce almost came in and made an incredible touchdown catch right there. Had his hands underneath the ball, but made contact with a defender and couldn't hang on. And Dennis, you're right. Great defense in a bad time.
So we're all right, Al.
It's all good. 3rd and 6. Warner picks up the first down, and making the grab, having to reach behind him, is Roland Williams, and Williams has made 2 third-down receptions on the Rams' opening drive.
You know, it's so infrequently that we see Warner put it anywhere except right on the dot, even when it's a little bit behind like that. It makes you wonder if he's still feeling dinged.
One thing he wants to do is he wants to start throwing some more touchdowns. He's only thrown 3 since he came back from his broken finger injury, so that may have been one of the reasons he tried to force that one to Hakeem on the play previous.
One of the reasons he has only 3 is Falk keeps running the ball into the end zone. Marshall with 11 touchdowns in the final 3 games of the regular season. From the 16-yard line, they give it to Falk, and Falk is able to knife his way for a 3-yard gain to the 13. What about Joe Horn? Let's check in with Melissa Stark.
All right, Al, well, the bad news is he has a lateral sprain on his right ankle. Surprisingly, his ankles weren't taped, so they've taped up that ankle. Now, the good news is they have not ruled him out. He's testing it out to see if he can go back in.
And what a big blow that would be. They're already minus Keith Poole, another receiver who would be their number 3 receiver coming into the game. There is Horn. Poole was the victim of that Devin Bush hit last week. So Jake Reed and Willie Jackson are going to be the key guys today, along with Robert Wilson.
And I think Abramowitz comes in after that.
He might. 2nd and 7, and Marshall Falk takes it to the 12-yard line.
The Rams had a lot of success last week with Marshall Falk carrying the ball on similar type of plays, pitchbacks to the outside. That's because the strength of the Saints defense is right up in the middle. And when the Saints blitz, they want to put pressure on Warner right up the middle. So one way you counter that is to pitch the ball back to a great player like Marshall Falk. Good job this time by the Saints to force him back into the middle, where all the big guys and all the help is coming from.
You know, the Rams really carved out some turf at the end of last week's game. The last 2:34, Dan, they ran the clock out with 6 straight rushes, and I think they put that in the Saints' head that they can run on them.
3rd and 6. So now the Saints with their 7 defensive backs, the 4 on-rushing linemen, and there's a whistle before the snap. No play. Delay a game. Jerry Austin is the ref.
Prior to the snap being made, delay of game, offense. 5 yards, but still 3rd down.
It's going to make it 3rd down and 11.
How about Marshall Falk last week? All he did was gain 220 yards rushing, scored 3 times, and led his team, as you said, Dennis, on that great last drive when the Saints had to run out the clock to ensure their 5-point victory.
Hey, put this in the impossible but true thing. In 5 postseason games, Falk has a combined total of just 123 yards. That is mind-boggling.
3rd and 11 from the 17-yard line. Warner protected well, guns it to the end zone, touchdown, Isaac Bruce. And so the Rams on their opening drive, a 17-yard touchdown, Warner to Bruce, and the 2 key plays with the 2 third-down receptions to Roland Williams.
Well, he might be light sensitive, but it looks like Warner's f-stop is set at the right position.
Yeah, I think he's okay. I think we can tell that. This is Isaac Bruce's first touchdown reception in 6 games. Great time for it as he gets inside Hawthorne there, the rookie defensive back from Purdue.
And now Wilkins to the point after. The Rams go 11 plays, 68 yards and 5 ticks under 7 minutes. Jim Haslett looking on as his team has fallen behind early.
Reverend Ike preaching to the conversions.
7-0, St. Louis.
Hey, we'll meet you guys down at the pool, okay?
Grab some Bud Lights. I'm gonna get ready.
What's wrong? Is it stuck? Come to Daddy. Give it. Give it. Give it. Did you try tickling it? It's not a tickle issue, baby. Come here, baby. Come. I want it. I want it now. I want it too.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Can you give me a hand over here?
Make it a Bud Light.
Faster, more reliable, more profitable. With Nortel Networks, the internet can be whatever you need it to be. No matter who you are or where you are. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Right now, over me.
They say good things come to those who wait. As long as they don't wait too long. From now until January 2nd, get a $500 holiday bonus for $1,250 total cash back on any 2001 Grand Prix. So stop by your Pontiac dealer now and light up the season. This holiday bonus ends January 2nd.
5:58 remaining in the opening quarter. The St. Louis Rams, who came in through the side door, through the tradesman's entrance to the playoffs with the win here last week, and then the 54-yard Edinger field goal as Chicago beat Detroit, and now they have the lead 7-0.
Doesn't matter where you enter the place, Al, as long as you exit through Tampa Bay.
Yep. Wilkins line drive. McAfee from the 1-yard line runs into his own man up at the 20 and returns it to the 30, where he's tackled by Todd Light. So the Saints, for the second time, have the ball there. Bruce's touchdown, 7-0 St. Louis.
They say good things come to those who wait. As long as they don't wait too long. From now until January 2nd, get a $500 holiday bonus for $1,250 total cash back on any 2001 Grand Am. So stop by your Pontiac dealer now and light up the season. This holiday bonus ends January 2nd.
There's a little town where people work just once a week. And all the locals know your name.
Hey, Steve. Junior. The usual? You know it.
This town's called NFL.com, and you can be there with the new smart Visa cards with remarkable chip technology. Because with Visa, you can buy anything from NFL.com, where they don't take American Express, not even Blue.
Gone in 60 seconds. Bring home the non-stop action, starring Nicolas Cage. Yes. And only on DVD. See behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Gone in 60 seconds. Now on video and DVD. Rated PG-13.
At McDonald's, we make your morning with a variety of breakfast sandwiches, like our tasty breakfast bagels. Why do we make each one hot, fresh, right to order?
The Capital One Florida Citrus Bowl is much a part of college football as ABC Sports. Michigan faces Auburn. New Year's Day at 1, 10 a.m. Pacific.
This NFC wildcard playoff from New Orleans is being brought to you by the Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. Nortel Networks, we're building the new high-performance internet. Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. Visa, everywhere NFL fans want to be. And Bud Light, the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Obviously, you fans at home can't see in the booth, but Al, you were doing a happy little Zydeco dance there, weren't you?
Absolutely.
Wow, bad plugs. You can tell. Some guys, they just don't, you know, you got to pay top dollar to get them.
Terrible weave. From the 30-yard line, Brooks throws off his back foot and over the middle to the tight end, Andrew Glover. So with Horn on the bench, they go to one wide, two tights, and Brooks leads them up as if they're going to go without a huddle here, and then they regroup. 16-yard pickup.
You know what he does is he reads the blitz right in here. Bush comes, and he throws the ball over the tiny middle linebacker, London Fletcher there. Brooks is 6'4". I think he may even be taller. He sees the field exceptionally well.
Only in the NFL can a guy 241 pounds be called tiny.
I was thinking more about that 5'10", which is more like 5'8".
From the 46-yard line, the toss, Terry Allen into Rams territory, and the one-time Viking and one-time Redskin, who was out of work until 5 weeks ago and was picked up by the Saints to replace Ricky Williams, picks up 9.
Totally different second series for the Saints than the first time they had the ball when they went 3 and out. Great cutback by Terry Allen, but this is where Allen is going to make his yardage, between the tackles. He doesn't have the speed to get to the outside, but he has the vision to see the cutback here, and the lane open up right up the middle.
Terry in his career, reconstructive surgery on each knee early on, played with New England last year. 2nd and 1, they're going to go over the middle, and it is dropped. They would have had the first down. It was Jake Reed, the longtime ex-Viking, light with the coverage. Ram defensive line now.
Grant Wistrom, defensive end, University of Nebraska.
Kevin Carter, defensive end, University of Florida.
Jeff Scanina, defensive tackle, Purdue University.
Ray Agnew, defensive tackle, North Carolina State University.
Todd Collins, linebacker, Carson Newman College.
London Fletcher, linebacker, John Carroll University.
Michael Jones, outside linebacker, University of Missouri.
And Collins and Jones have to pick it up today and protect the edges. The Rams have been vulnerable to the outside in the last few weeks. In fact, most of the season. Flag, and this is Allen on 3rd down and 1, who gets stopped behind the line.
You know, Carter came out of the box a little slow this year, Al. I think he felt he got punked on his salary, but he came on at the end.
Offside, 99 deep ends, 5 yards, first down.
That's Agnew. If he got punked on his salary, he punked himself. They offered him an $11 million bonus. But
I know, but you know, in his head, and he came out slow, but he did finish with his 3rd consecutive 10-sack season.
Ray Agnew lined up in the neutral zone there, so that gives the Saints an automatic first down.
I agree with you, Al. Once they put anything above $10 million on the table in the form of cold hard cash, signing bonus, you got to take it.
Well, what Carter wanted, it was more money than Michael Strahan, the highest paid defensive lineman, and the Rams said we can't do that. We have too many high salaried guys on this team. $11 million, take it or leave it, and he left it. This is Terry Allen for no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Here's the Rams secondary.
Jackson McLeon, cornerback, Clemson University.
Todd Light, defensive back, University of Notre Dame.
Devin Bush, safety, Florida State University.
Keith Lyle, free safety, University of Virginia.
Dexter McLeon had a monster year, Al. 61 tackles, 21 passes defensed, 8 ints, 2 sacks.
Right. At one point, we thought he had saved their season in that Tampa Bay game, that Monday night game, with a big interception. But then the Bucs came from behind and won it. 2nd and 11. Brooks surveys, takes off, room to roam, slides to a hold, about 2 yards shy of the first down. The market is about the 32.
Quick first step.
And the Rams will take that on defense. They were just playing that 2-deep zone that you know so well, Dennis. And there's no pass rush at all, but there's also nobody to throw to. There's that first step right up the middle. And the Rams keep him from picking up a first down. But they want to keep their eyes on Brooks, because Brooks is a better runner than Sean King of the Buccaneers. And Sean King absolutely murdered the Rams in that great game we had.
Brooks had 109 yards in a game earlier this season. Got to talk about that clever New Orleans Saints fan, the hell freezes over guy. Was that funny?
3rd and a long 2 as Brooks fires, finds the open man over the middle. It's Chad Morton, the rookie from the University of Southern California, the 3rd down back, tackled by Keith Lyle.
There's your guy, and it's getting warmer down south.
That's a very clever costume.
Morton, the 3rd down back, working against the zone again. Look at Bush, let him go to the inside. And Aaron Brooks bought time that time, moved around in the pocket and threw a strike.
Gerald Moore is now in the game, the running back, 32. 3 years ago, he played with the Rams. They fake it to him, and then it's over the middle. The fingertips of Andrew Glover. That close to 6 points. Here's Melissa.
Well, Al, it appears that Joe Horn's ankle injury may be more serious than they originally thought. He could barely even walk on it, was grimacing in pain, left the field a few minutes ago to go get x-rays in the locker room. We'll let you know when we have the results.
In the meantime, you can see, Dan, they're going to go to the tight end more. They've gone to Glover twice on this series.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to count on Jake Reed as well. Threw him a ball earlier in this drive. He took a big shot. But when you're as tall as Brooks is, he can find those receivers. And Andrew Glover that time let his quarterback down, dropping that touchdown.
They miss Cam Cleland.
Second down and 10. Delay, and they give the ball to Gerald Moore, who started this year in the summer. He was in the Oakland camp. And then Randy Mueller has done such a brilliant job as the general manager. The new GM, along with Haslett, brought him in.
Al, wasn't Moore with the Rams last year?
He was with the Rams a couple of years ago. In fact, he was their leading rusher before they resurrected the team, made the trade for Falk. And, of course, last year out of nowhere to win the Super Bowl.
And last week, he was the extent of the Saints rushing attack, ripped off a 40-yarder, but that was about it.
Third down and 9. Brooks out of the shotgun. This drive began at the Saint 30-yard line. Minute and a half to go in the opening period. Brooks backing all the way up, and from the 40-yard line with a flag thrown, the catch is made at the 19 by Robert Wilson. There's a flag down at the 22-yard line.
That ball was simultaneously dangerous and sweet. What a pass.
It was a 3rd and 9.
Holding, defense, 25 yards,
automatic first down on a 3rd and 9 where Brooks had backed up about 15 yards. They convert through penalty.
You know, Brooks' second cousin is Michael Vick, and he's got some of his chops, doesn't he, Dan?
Yeah, and by moving around like that with those chops, or whatever that is, he forces the Rams in the secondary to reach out and grab one of the receivers, because Brooks had 6 or 7 seconds before he let that ball go.
Penalty was on McLean. The holding call, the ball now at the 15. Approaching the final minute of the opening quarter, 7-0. St. Louis. Brooks scrambles away.
Are you kidding me?
And turns a sack into a 3-yard gain to the 12-yard line, breaking out of a Jeff Scanina would-be tackle.
Well, in a season full of surprises, the Saints received the most pleasant surprise with the play of Aaron Brooks. After Blake got hurt, Brooks has proven that he's a double threat, as we've seen, especially on that last play. But, you know, more importantly, he's led the Saints to their first NFC West title since 1991. And in this first playoff start, this second drive made all the big plays.
Waning moments of the quarter, 2nd down and 6, to the ground again. And the ball in the hands of Gerald Moore for no gain. And that is the way the opening quarter will climax. One period gone in the Big Easy. St. Louis 7, New Orleans nothing. This wild card playoff game returns after this message and a word from our ABC station.
You wouldn't believe the sales.
I hope you didn't put all those in the credit card.
Yeah, why?
Those interest charges are really going to get us.
Don't worry. I used our new Capital One card. It's interest-free.
To the neighbors! If you had a new Capital One card, all your purchases would be interest-free until July 2001.
We gotta tell Bob and Carol about Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
Rush to Radio Shack for remarkable compact computer clearance deals inside. Every compact is on sale, from laptops to the exclusive Creative Learning Series. Designed to help your kids do better in school. Get up to $300 in rebates and savings. Sign up for easy, reliable MSN Internet access from Microsoft. And save up to $400 more. Hurry. Sale ends soon.
And this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, get a free printer when you buy a desktop computer and monitor, only at Radio Shack.
ABC Sports All-Star Sunday, coming February 4th.
The Heart of the West Ford region is leading the competition in sales, and now we're celebrating during the 2000 Leadership Clearance. Now is the time to buy, with financing as low as 0.9% or up to $1,500 cash back. We're leading in selection with the most complete line of SUVs on the planet. Find incredible deals on every Explorer, Expedition, Excursion, and even the all-new Ford Escape. So get the best deals on the most far-reaching SUVs on Earth during the 2000 Leadership Clearance at your Heart of the West Ford stores.
Kevin Kowari, KIVI News Idaho 6. We are Idaho.
Back we come to New Orleans. Al Michaels, Dan Fouts, Dennis Miller, Eric Dickerson, Melissa Stark. At the Superdome, the Rams on top. The numbers for the first quarter.
Well, these numbers right here represent Kurt Warner getting off to a great start. 4 out of 5 and a 17-yard touchdown pass to Isaac Bruce.
3rd down and 7 for the Saints. This long drive began at their own 30 out of the shotgun. Brooks protected well to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Robert Wilson.
Wow. This Brooks kid, first time I've seen him, he's unbelievable.
So with Horn out, Robert Wilson, who did not catch a touchdown pass all year, who caught 11 balls all season in his second year from Florida A&M, has put Jim Haslett's team within a point. And now the conversion upcoming.
A lot of QBs coming out of Green Bay, Al. The other guy, Warner, in this game, Brunell, Brooks. They're feeding them something up there.
Doug Ryan for the point after. And so the big holding call on Dexter McLean keeps the drive alive. Brooks leads them 70 yards to the end zone. Wilson scores 7-7.
Seville STS. The power of and, the fusion of design and technology. Cadillac.
We asked the tough fans of the St. Paul Saints to test the Norelco Quadra Action Razor for 21 days.
Electric sting!
But when they tried it, they started to like this advanced Norelco, with slots to cut the long hairs and holes that get the short stubble. They got a quick, close shave without the nicks and cuts of a blade. By the end, these fans had fans of their own. The Quadra Action Razor. Try it for 21 days. It's guaranteed or your money back. Norelco. Put it to the test.
Right here, right now, right here, right now.
It's Millionaire VH1's Pop-Up Celebrity Edition.
You're right.
Amazing things you never knew about Millionaire and the celebrities. The final night tomorrow, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Well, the Saints are going to tie it up with a great corner route by Robert Wilson against Todd Light. But the real beauty of this pass and this play is the pass. Perfect ball. He didn't have to reach for it. He could let it come into his body, and now he can talk smack to Todd Light. Look how calm and cool Aaron Brooks is.
Wow. To throw that pass and escape from that rush on the same drive really shows you this kid's the whole package.
Ryan's kick. And this is Tony Horn, who had missed several weeks with a toe injury. One of the best in the league, but that time the Saints are down there to stop him at the 18. Kevin Mathis makes the hit.
From New Line Cinema.
We now count 40 missiles. Could kill 80 million Americans.
The threat is real.
What's the next step? First airstrikes start in 28 hours.
The pressure is on.
We're gonna hit him. You hit him hard.
It's the wrong move.
And time is running out.
Guns are loaded, sir.
This is a setup. "13 Days," rated PG-13. Now in select theaters wide January 12th.
What will be, will be.
If you broke it, lost it, need it cheap, or just can't find it anywhere else, eBay. Night.
Provides no ambient illumination.
It's scary.
Yet objects give off energy in the form of heat.
It would be amazing if you could see what's out there.
DeVille DTS thermal detection system with a head-up display projects images of the road ahead.
Beyond the range of your headlamps.
The DeVille DTS, the world's first car available with night vision. The power of and, the fusion of design and technology. Cadillac.
The Nokia Sugar Bowl, as much a part of college football as ABC Sports. Miami faces Florida, Tuesday night at 8, 5 Pacific.
The big three, the bob and weave of the St. Louis Rams, and that's how they've done thus far. And that's one possession. The Rams had the ball, 11 plays, 68 yards. Bruce scoring.
And so what do the Saints do? They go 11 plays, 70 yards, and get a 12-yard touchdown reception to a guy that's made his first touchdown catch of the year, Robert Wilson.
At 90 grand a pop, I don't think you're going to see the bob and wave much from here on in.
March and Haslett, each in his first year, guiding their teams into the playoffs. Warner going deep on first down, but incomplete. Intended for Torrey Holt, double covered on the play. Darren Perry coming from a safety spot along with Kevin Mathis. 2nd and 10. Well, Dick Vermeil guided the team to the Super Bowl last year, then retired 2 days later. And Mike Martz came in, native of South Dakota, as was a great Ram quarterback, Norm Van Brockman, quarterback's coach under Norv Turner with the Redskins in 97-98, guided this offense last year. Called all the plays, and that elevated him to the top spot when Vermeil decided to go back to pipe and slippers.
In his 32 games in those two positions, 1,066 points, Al. That's better with Hastings.
2nd and 10 is a flag down. And also, Dan, as you know, it's...
All-star, 50. 5 yards. It's still second down.
That's Ryan Tucker. Norv Turner, if he gets a head job, I assume, will take it, whether it's college or pro, but Mike Martz and the Rams are talking to Turner about the offensive coordinator spot.
And that would make a lethal offense even more lethal with Turner's mind working along with Martz. You see Tucker jump off sides there. Rams have 3 penalties, and 2 on that last drive kept drives alive, and offsides against Agnew, and then the pass interference for holding it against McLeon.
2nd and 15 from the 12-yard line. Warner throws, it's tipped, and it's incomplete. Getting a hand on it was Keith Mitchell, who'll be going to the Pro Bowl. 59.
That might be your first chippy little shot there, too.
Keith Mitchell's going to be a busy man today. He's going to be responsible for taking Marshall Faulk a lot of the time as the Saints try to match up with their personnel. Here's the tip. Quick little hot read there. Good athletic ability as Warner was trying to squeeze the ball into Ricky Kroll on the hot pass.
3rd and 15. And the decibel level just about maxed out in the dome. Good protection. Warner throws, caught at the 29-yard line. Isaac Bruce coming across the field, making the catch. First down, 18-yard gain.
Isaac Bruce is hot. He is really playing well. Here he is on the move. Watch how softly this ball comes into him. Kevin Mathis thinking he's got help on the outside. He does, but it arrives a little bit too late as Sammy Knight comes over after the catch. But Warner and Bruce just working so smoothly together. 3 catches now for Isaac Bruce.
Rams 4 for 4 on 3rd down thus far. 3 for 3 on the opening drive, which resulted in a Bruce touchdown. First down, 30-yard line. Warner, quick flip over the middle. Holt gets 6 to the 36. I just love the way the Rams patterns are run, Dan. I mean, when you look at it live and you watch it from up here, it's amazing how open these guys get.
And the amazing thing that is if the Saints, who led the league in sacks, don't get any more pressure on the quarterback than this. You're going to see this a lot today, Al. You should have a good time watching it because this is what we're going to see. But there's no pass rush. It's a quick 3-step drop, little flick sidearm.
Dropped it down to 3/4.
2nd and 4 from the 36. To the ground again. In case you've forgotten about Falk, into Saint territory. Inside the 20, bumped out of bounds. Inside the 15-yard line. They'll mark it at the 13. And a flag, though, for holding. It's going to come back.
How many ways can you kill yourself in the first half of a ball game? The one sure way is to have a lot of flags.
86 offense, 10 yards.
Roland Williams, who bailed out the Rams on their first drive with a couple of catches, is going to reach out and grab. Looks like Keith Mitchell, number 59. Got that right hand right under the jersey. And when Mitchell goes down, all eyes go to him, especially the eyes with the striped shirt.
And that negates a 51-yard run.
And that run represents the longest run from scrimmage by Marshall Falk all year long.
Well, the Saints are going to have to bang Marshall out of bounds. He's not going out on his own ever since they intimated that he might be soft. I noticed last week's game and this week, he's turning everything back in, looking for that last hit.
His longest run during the regular season, 36 yards. He did catch a 72-yard touchdown pass. Justin Watson comes in. He's the running back now. Watson, Falk's backup, takes it up to the 31-yard line. 12 and a half left in the half. Last week, of course, a lot of pushy, shovey. Marshall Falk came about as close as you can get to get thrown out of the game.
Well, he should have been thrown out of the game. He punched Kevin Mathis right here with a right hand. The league said that because he struck him with an open hand, it's not really considered a punch. Well, I think the league really is mincing their words here. That was a punch. There it is right there again. And he should have been thrown out of the game and fined.
I think the league's feeling is he hit him with a marquee hand.
By the way, this is where Roberto Duran said no mas with Sugar Ray. 3rd down and 9 from the 31-yard line. Warner going deep, too deep. Intended for Torrey Holt. He'd gotten out behind Molden. The safety coming over to help, but the pass thrown too far. 4th down.
Pressure that time by Keith Mitchell forced Warner to step up into the pocket and speed his clock up just a little bit. He's thrown a couple of long balls here that have been way too far. Everything else looks pretty good on the mark, the intermediate passes, but the long ball has been way off for Warner so far.
You talked to him last night at length. Did he seem a little
he just seemed like he was ready to go. He had said he had a good week of practice. And one thing I know about Kurt Warner, he's a very honest young man.
John Baker, the rookie punter, fair caught by Chad Morton at the 26. So the killer was the penalty on Williams, negating the 51-yard Falk run, 7-all.
I'm ready, ready as anybody can be. I'm ready, ready as anybody can be. Yeah.
Are you ready to ask your doctor about Viagra? Get ready. Ask your doctor if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
Well, I'm ready for you. I hope you're ready for me.
Yes? I'm here for your DLJ Direct upgrade. Upgrade? Where's your computer, please?
That's over there.
You see, DLJ Direct is tapping into the strength of Credit Suisse First Boston to form CSFB Direct. Now you can invest online with more award-winning research, more global resources, and more IPOs.
Impressive. Will this take long?
Not at all. Enjoy the power, sir.
Introducing CSFB Direct, coming online January 15th.
Craving more taste? More variety? All you need is 99 cents. Check out the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu with 8 items including our Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe, Chicken Tender Sandwich, and tasty mozzarella sticks. Just 99 cents every day.
Look! Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
He's a grown-up on the outside, but inside, he's all boy. Robin Williams and Jennifer Lopez star in Jack, tonight on ABC.
Tuesday night from right here, it'll be the Nokia Sugar Bowl, JM2, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Miami against Florida, and the boys made each other's acquaintances the other night. Dan out on Bourbon Street.
Well, you know, I think anything that happens on Bourbon Street is perfectly legal. Yeah. Everything I've ever seen there has been people have looked the other way.
Some sort of dispute over beads, I believe.
Yeah.
From the 26-yard line on first down, Brooks on the draw hands the ball off to Terry Allen, who loses 2, maybe 3.
Well, they're going to need Haslett's mental toughness here, Al, if Horn is out for any length of time, because, well, he's lost 7 starters this year, and he just said he was going to convince this team that there was a whole new game in town. They weren't going to be defeated by things. They were going to keep forging on. So if anybody can get these guys to overcome Horn's loss, it's him. But, boy, how many chess pieces can you lose?
He and Randy Mueller just doing a masterful job. 2nd and 13. And this is Allen stopped in his tracks again. Now, Jim Haslett was the defensive coordinator for the last couple of years under Bill Cowher in Pittsburgh. Prior to that, he'd been here as a linebacker coach. He was a linebacker himself for the Buffalo Bills, and here's action of him with the Buffalo Bills between '79 and 1986.
That quarterback was so handsome.
He was one of those up-and-coming coaches for the last 2 or 3 years. They've been talking about this guy getting a job, and here he is doing a tremendous job in his rookie year as a head coach.
So candid in our meeting, huh?
3rd and 15. Brooks throws. First down and a lot more for Willie Jackson. And Jackson still breaking tackles. Finally knocked down at the 30-yard line by Dre Bly.
Well, there's the Haslett imprint. Horn goes down, Jackson steps up.
Jackson's a big receiver, too. He's a lot like Eric Moulds of Buffalo, about 6'1", 215 pounds, and he showed that he can run a little bit, but also the key on that one is when he broke the tackles and cut to the outside. He picked up about another 25 yards in doing so.
50-yard pass play, the longest pass play in the storied postseason history of the Saints. The Saints playing only their 5th postseason game, and again they've yet to win one. Now to Morton, the rookie. McLean forces him out of bounds after a gain of 3.
Real cool in the pocket one more time for Aaron Brooks, and he seems to wait for a long time to find Jackson as he does the crossing route here. After the catch, and the ball is thrown perfectly. Great spin move here, but watch the strength right there as he cuts across the grain and gets to the outside to pick up extra yards.
There's the move you're talking about, then. They tried to grab him high, just broke right through it.
And 2nd and 6, they'll convert here, and that's Robert Wilson. So with Horn gone, they go to Wilson, they go to Jackson, they run more double tight end, forced out of bounds by Styles. First down, Saints.
And that offensive line is protecting their quarterback as you would expect them to do. Great offensive line. That gives Brooks a feeling that when he gets back there, he can set his back foot, that he can throw on timing here. Watch, as soon as Wilson turns his head around, the ball's on the way, and the Rams are defenseless.
First down, 16-yard line. Allen. So the Saints, again, when you think about it, Jeff Blake, the starting quarterback, broken ankle, gone. Ricky Williams, 1,000-yard rusher, gone. Joe Horn today, gone. And this guy has taken this 3-13 team, revamped it, and here they are tied with the world champions and on the move trying to take the lead.
Well, like he said, though, in our meeting the other night, at least he had his offensive line intact for the whole season. And his defensive line congealed. One hand went in the middle, and Leroy Glover was freed up to do a little more freelance.
2nd down and 9. Terry Allen gingerly came off the field after that last play. Brooks chased, throws, and is it picked off? Did he have possession? Yes. Intercepted, juggled, and staying in bounds was Devin Bush. Tipped it, regained possession, got both feet in. Rams have it.
Brooks just trying to make too much happen here. He's trying to hit Chad Morton, who's a running back. So Chad, number 30 here, trying to ad-lib on the run here. Bush is a safety. He's used to playing man-to-man coverage down here in the red zone, steps right in front of Morton. Morton sits there waiting on the ball. That's a cardinal mistake for any receiver, but excusable for a running back.
And a great play by Bush, ran ball.
never last.
Want to get away?
Oh.
Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines coast to coast for $99 or less when you purchase tickets by January 16th and travel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
You are now free to move about the country.
Wiring the school for the internet is a big job. You might get some floor damage with the backhoe. The dumpsters are green. They're nice, like nature. Hello?
There's a hard way to bring the internet to your school and an easy way, the wireless way with the Dell True Mobile Wireless Computer Lab. It stores up to 35 notebook computers that are wireless internet ready, turning every classroom into an interactive technology center.
Can you pay cash?
Wireless internet, made easy with Dell.
Dell Latitude notebooks use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Did you ever see that movie, You've Got Mail? Where this guy and girl fall in love emailing each other a bunch of times? Anyway, they finally meet face to face, and there's this big romantic kiss. Do you know the movie I'm talking about? Did you ever see that one? Well, this guy didn't. Ford F-Series Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
Gonna show me something? You're gonna show me something. You're gonna show me something? You're gonna show me something? You're gonna show me something. Show me something.
I want you to get together.
Devin Bush did not have an interception during the regular season, so he picks one off here to give the Rams the ball at their own 8-yard line. 8:14 left in the first half. Game tied 7-7. This is Marshall Faulk. Let's go back to last week when Devin Bush put this pop on one Keith Poole.
Yeah, I think this hit really sealed the election for Bush, at least in Poole's mind.
Wow. That's the hit of the year.
According to Jim Haslett, if Poole runs the right route, he scores a touchdown. But for some reason, Keith thought he should cut it over the middle and right into where Bush was playing.
Well, I think Pavlov will tell you that he will run the proper pattern in the future.
2nd down and 7 from the 11-yard line. Halfway through the second quarter. Faulk again to the 14. Let's go to Melissa.
Al, a huge blow for the Saints. Joe Horn with his injured right ankle. He's out here on the sidelines on crutches, but he will not return. Remember, the x-rays were negative, but he's not coming back to the game.
Joe Horn, I mean, here's a kid who in Kansas City barely had a chance to play, and right now Alex Molden, the cornerback, is shaken. You can't, even after x-rays, and he's not going to come back. How often have you seen a guy, Dan, come out in uniform on crutches?
You know, he's such a vocal player on this team, and he knows that his teammates miss perhaps his voice, so he's going to lend every bit of support he possibly can.
And in uniform. Injury timeout while they work on Molden.
In my house, I have a stair climber. In my house,
I have a stationary bike. In my house, I have
a treadmill.
In my house, a rowing machine.
And they're all collecting dust.
Get out there and explore from your Ford Outfitter. Outfitting you with the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
Axe, $60. Platter, $40. Tuxedo, $400. Losing yourself in a movie, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, accepted at a theater near you.
Hey guys, give me a hand carrying this stuff up to the 3rd floor?
Love to, but we're late for this thing.
Yeah, sorry. That's cool. You know, those stairs are kind of tricky.
Yeah. Oh, I got this. That's it. Mind if we help ourselves to some of your underwear?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
I don't need you guys to help me unpack.
Make it a Bud Light.
Go blue.
The NYPD Blues season premiere is Tuesday, January 9th on ABC.
There's number 25, Alex Molden, and he may have a sprained ankle as well. As you see, it's twisted around down there. Good sign, though, he did jog off the field.
Those Ducks are tough.
Chris Canty comes in to spell him. 3rd down and 4 from the 14 after the injury timeout. Warner under pressure. Sack at the 11. The Saints led the league in sacks this year with 66. That's an average of better than 1 per quarter, and that's Keith Mitchell.
Warner trying to find a receiver down the field. Good coverage that time. The Saints came with a 3-man rush, and when the back blocked, Mitchell came on the blitz, and he was rewarded with a sack.
Well, that Howard kid's a stud for a rookie.
John Baker, rookie from North Texas, pulled in by Morton from the 43-yard line. Reverses direction. They string him out. He's able to turn the corner, and he gets into Ram territory before he's forced out of bounds by the punter, Baker, at about the 40-yard line. 6:16 remaining in the half. A Ram is down, and the game is tied 7-7.
Remember the A-Team? Now there was an odd bunch of individuals. They always had some cockamamie scheme to get out of a jam. It never sounded like it would work, but of course it always did. Week after week, same time, same channel. Those were my boys. The Ford F-150 Super Crew. Built Ford tough.
面白いね。美味しそうだよ。ダラスのクライアントからお電話。Hello, Mr. Bufford. Thank you for the nice gift pack of beef jerky. Beef jerky.
Thank you. Chief, wish I could take credit, but I didn't send you all any jerky.
You didn't?
Well, no. The last gift I sent you was that box of filet mignons about 2 months ago. Y'all got that, didn't you?
Shipping internationally.
You're there?
Next time, use FedEx and be absolutely sure.
Hello?
You heard about Benny the Bison?
No, what?
He never checked out the risk and overall performance of those mutual funds he bought.
Well, Benny's no brain surgeon, right?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm, we created a smarter kind of investor with tools like the Schwab Select List, which highlights historically high-performing mutual funds. Visit schwabwelcome.com to order a free copy of the Select List.
You don't do your homework, you end up looking ridiculous.
Number 1 Oklahoma battles number 2 Florida State for the national championship. The FedEx Orange Bowl, Wednesday night at 8, 5 Pacific on ABC.
Here's Dre Bly right here. This is Sammy Knight. Watch him zero in for the blindside shot. And Keith Poole, your debt has been paid by Sammy Knight.
Vengeance. Sweet.
And Dre Bly, a key figure in a lot of their nickel packages, so he is out for the moment.
Literally.
Yes.
Yeah, that's loose change right now.
At the 40-yard line, Brooks on 1st down. Hanging in, but hanging in too long, and then spun down by Grant Wistrom.
You know, Grant Wistrom reminds me of one of the great defensive ends for the Rams, Fred Dreyer. Kind of on the tall and lean side, but with a non-stop motor and a sense for where the quarterback is.
11 sacks this year.
Even wears Dryer's number. A little dyslexically, but still wears 98.
Oh, our mic'd up feature, which I know a lot of you enjoyed during the regular season. We're doing it in postseason as well, and Grant Wistrom is the man. I'm sure we'll hear what he had to say about that play as Terry Allen takes the inside handoff and brings it back to the 42-yard line.
And that's a pretty good play because now it sets up a 3rd down and 10. And what you have now is a chance to get your field goal kicker, Doug Bryan, in range so that you can pay off your special teams and Chad Morton for that fine punt return.
Home field advantage, not so in this case. As you see, the Saints 7-1 on the road, 3-5 here. Excluding the 72 strike season when they expanded the playoffs, put more teams in, it hasn't happened. 1982, 3rd down and 11. from the 41-yard line as Brooks rolls out and then gets sacked. That's a tremendous play by Leonard Little in a situation where Brooks could have thrown it away, and he was getting ready to, and Little is able to get it from behind.
And this is why Leonard Little is in the game as a defensive end, because of his speed. He runs down Aaron Brooks and makes the tackle. He's only 237 pounds or so, but he does run extremely well, and there he goes.
Well, between the interception down by the goal line and not getting rid of it once he got outside the tight end, Brooks, for the first time, even looks vaguely like a bit of a rookie.
9-yard sack. Toby Goen, the former Dallas Cowboy, punts. Hakeem signals fair catch, lets it bounce, and the Saints try to down it in the field of play, but cannot. They cannot. It was Thomas down there who could not keep it in the field of play, through his hands and into the end zone. 4:25 to the half.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and it's going to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect, its digital two-way radio feature. Frank? Not yet. It ensures instant contact. Bridget? Got it. Cost a fraction of cellular. It just passed. And it makes other cell phones... Ready now. Obsolete.
Direct Connect from Nextel. How business gets done.
For a limited time, sign up for a Nextel National Business Plan and get free incoming cellular calls.
You know the Fight Club, right? Where this group of guys get together in some warehouse or basement or whatever, and they just get beaten up. Then go to work the next day, scraped and scarred and wearing bruises like badges of honor. Now there's a hobby that separates the men from the boys. The new Ford Ranger Edge. Built Ford tough.
Here, right now, right here, right now.
10 players working together to win $1 million. But one of them is a traitor. Who is the mole? Tuesday, January 9th on ABC, The Game Begins.
This NFC wildcard playoff from New Orleans is being brought to you by Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else is MasterCard. And by Dell. Beautiful day outdoors in New Orleans. Inside, joint is jumping. Alex Molden is back in the game, the cornerback for New Orleans, as the Rams take over at their own 20-yard line. 4:25 to the half. The game tied. They set up the screen, caught underneath, but broken up beautifully. Falk makes the catch, and the other 28, Chris Oldham, is there to stop behind the line of scrimmage. Let's check in with Eric.
Well, Al, I asked Marshall Falk about, did he think he'd run the ball as much as he did last week? I asked him about their game plan. Falk says each week that they go out, they do not have the scripted game plan that most NFL teams have. You'll say we're going to run 30 plays, we're going to pass 30 times. He says that what March does is he goes into a game and see how it plays out. He said he doesn't care if he throws the ball 60 times. So lots of time when these guys go into a game, they'll have no idea what the plays they are going to run.
Thus far today, Eric, Falk's carried 8 times for 23 yards. That kept him in check. He's caught one pass for -1, and reaching out and not able to come up with the ball at the 32 is Ricky Prohl. It'll be 3rd down and long. Well, you've waited long enough, and now it's time for Blue to return. The whole gang back for a brand new year of NYPD Blue. It begins Tuesday, January 9th at 10 Eastern and Pacific, 9 Central. Right here on ABC. Viewer discretion is advised, it says in the card. That's what they say about our show, too, Denver.
Well, this year, both Dennis Franz and Ricky Schroeder have asked to be called Rick. Kind of interesting. I'll do whatever Denny wants. Rick Franz.
We've got New Orleans blue as the Rams are wearing their home jerseys because Jim Haslett doesn't like the fact that the Saints can't seem to win wearing their black ones.
The Rams have just taken a timeout preparatory to a 3rd and 11 with 3:41 to the half. 7-7.
be answered by the next available operator. Please stand by.
Your service reps are overwhelmed with customer calls, faxes, and emails. Integrate the internet into your call center and go from providing customer support to creating customer delight. Discover all that's possible on the internet. Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
What did he do? Third down and 11 at the 19-yard line after the Ram timeout. 3:41 to the half. Game tied 7-7. Warner wide open on 3rd and 11, and making the catch is Isaac Bruce, and the Rams have been great converting third downs, especially 3rd and long.
Boy, and when you see the defensive backs look at each other after a guy catches the ball like this, you know there has to be a bust here. Zone principles, and with the speed of the Ram receivers on the inside here, again we're seeing Isaac Bruce cutting to the outside and just being all by himself.
Yeah, Isaac's been breaking off some hellacious cuts, but not hellacious enough to get that wide open.
Ram offense, NFL record this year, over 7,000 yards. NFL record in passing, despite the fact Warner missed 4.5 games with a broken pinky, and now a timeout is taken again by St. Louis, their second. So the Rams have been forced to burn 2 timeouts on this drive. This before a first down call.
I want to thank Marie Callender for that last graphic.
A la mode.
One thing they got to be talking about on the sidelines, and I'm sure that's going through Mike Martz's mind, is what's going through Kurt Warner's mind. And whenever you have a question about a quarterback's mental capabilities after he got a concussion or anything, you got to wonder if the plays came in a little bit scrambled, or if he wasn't able to get them to his teammates in the time enough to get up to the line of scrimmage and to make the proper shifting and flexing.
Here's what Warner said yesterday about his condition.
I feel good. The only problem that I've had this week is sensitivity to light. Anytime I've gone in a bright place, I've noticed it more than normal, but it hasn't affected any of my vision, any of my focus, no loss of memory, anything like that. Everything's been good, but practiced every day this week, threw the ball very well, so I don't foresee there being any problems.
He hits Falk there, and Kurt Warner right now is 9 of 14. There it is for 107 yards.
He's just having regular good games now, whereas we've been used to him having these games that you can't even fathom.
Teams are playing a lot more zone against the Rams. They do not want Warner to throw the bomb as well as he has earlier in the year.
2nd and 4 from the 47-yard line. Warner checks off, throws, picked off, intercepted by Sammy Knight. Inside the 50, and then the ball is batted out of his possession, but they will retain it. Torrey Holt batted the ball away, but it goes out of bounds, and the Saints retain possession.
I'm not so sure this ball wasn't hit at the line of scrimmage, because by the time it got to Sammy Knight, it was going end over end. There's the hot receiver, Prohl. That's who Warner wanted, and there is Knight stepping in front. But the question I have is whether the ball was hit before it came out of his hand. And you know what? It was. It was Darren Howard, number 93, who just got in there to deflect that pass, and Sammy Knight picks it off.
Torrey Holt made a great effort down there, but he's got to take a lesson from Bill Russell. You got to send that rebound or that block shot over to one of your own guys.
And so the Saints, after the turnover on first down, they start on the ground. They give the ball to Morton. He picks up just 1 to the 19-yard line.
It's about 4 or 5 times now that the Saints have run the ball straight up the middle, either with Chad Morton or Gerald Moore or Terry Allen on first down, really not giving themselves a chance to have a more manageable 2nd down and 3rd down situation.
2-minute warning. The Saints threatened to take the lead at the 2-minute warning. The game tied 7-7. NFC wildcard playoff from New Orleans.
The power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
The setup.
They think I killed 2 cops.
You got to get out of New York.
Yo, what up?
The switch.
Just act black. That's all you gotta do.
What it is, job turkey.
Hey, bro. All right, mama.
This January, if they can survive each other,
I'm smarter than you.
You smarter than me.
They might just stay alive.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I can throw a bullet at you.
Double Take, rated PG-13, starts Friday, January 12th.
They say that nothing remains constant except change itself. At New York Life, we see the world a little differently. The values with which we started, financial strength, integrity, and humanity, remain the unshakable foundation of the company today. That we don't see them changing, ever, is why New York Life is the company you keep.
It's Countdown 2001, and ABC is bringing you the biggest, loudest rockin' party of the year. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve starts at 10, 9 Central on ABC.
We go out today and we beat them up just like we did last week.
In the half.
Everybody kick the out the man across from you. Let's go.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, dominate.
Mic'd up at the half, coming up on the Toyota halftime show. And Chris Berman and Steve Young in the studio in New York. Lamar Smith running wild in Miami as the Dolphins beat Indianapolis. They'll face the Raiders next week. Overtime in Miami. And here it's 2nd and 9. The game is tied. Brooks to the end zone and throws it out of the end zone. Todd Light with the coverage that time on Chad Morton. 3rd down and 9. Well, Lamar Smith today, there it is, the 2nd most yardage gained in postseason history. Number 1, of course, our man, ED, 1985, Rams Cowboys at Texas Stadium, 248 yards.
And 40 carries today for Lamar Smith, and none bigger than the last one that gave the Dolphins a playoff victory in overtime.
And for Indy, Vanderjagt hasn't missed anything in 2 years, and he really missed.
It is 3rd down and 10. And the Saints have taken a timeout. Aaron Brooks. Well, one thing about Brooks, young quarterback with a great offensive line. Here's what he had to say.
Sometimes they wonder what I'm doing back there or where I'm going. I guess they listening for that go call, and I just take off. But it hasn't been a problem yet, because at times when I'm back there, sitting in the pocket, delivering the ball, you know, it makes them look good. And also, you know, getting out of the pocket when nothing is there, and, you know, instead of taking a coverage sack, I can still get out and make some things happen.
And that's what he's going to have to remember. Last play, he had the opportunity to pull the ball down and take off and pick up 5 or 6 yards. Instead, he decided to throw the ball away out of the end zone. But his decision-making right now, he's not as sharp as he was to begin this ball game.
3rd down 9 from the shotgun. Line of scrimmage is the 19. He'll run it, but only for 4. So now they'll bring in the field goal group to attempt about a 33-yard field goal to give them the lead. Doug Bryan is their place kicker.
6'4", 205, 4'5", 40. I'm surprised they don't put more preset runs in for Brooks.
The 205 worries the coaches, Dennis. He is very slightly built.
Looks like he knows how to handle himself, though. I don't know. I'd probably at least set up 5 or 6 runs a game for him.
Yeah, that's why you're sitting up here with me, pal.
That's not why he's sitting up here with us.
Yeah,
Al, I'm still trying to figure out why he's sitting up here with. I'm sorry, Dennis.
That's all right.
Happy New Year, my friend.
I love being the foil. I'm having a tough day anyway. I was in line for that Virginia job, and that fell apart.
Aerial coverage provided by Southwest Airlines. In case you haven't heard, Al Groh resigns as the coach of the New York Jets. He's going to be the head coach at Virginia, replacing George Welsh. That's the big news of the day in the NFL. And, you know, when we were on the field before the game talking to some of the coaches on both staffs, they were stunned. This is a 33-yard attempt by Doug Bryan. Toby going to hold to give New Orleans the lead, and the Saints are out in front.
Nice course management by Jimmy Haslett in the first half. Never won a playoff game, playing a little close to the best. Why not? At least keep the team interested for the second half.
After the Rams had marched down the field on their opening possession to take a 7-0 lead, the Saints, minus their starting quarterback, minus their top running back, Ricky Williams, and losing Joe Horn today, out in front.
And minus their tight end, beginning of the year, Cam Cleveland. Yeah, he goes down. So you got a tight end, wide receiver, running back, quarterback, and yet they refuse to give in to all that negativity.
Hey, as much as I like Jeff Blake, and he might throw the best deep ball in the business, I'm not sure he is the #1 quarterback anymore from the looks of this guy.
Well, the one thing Blake has is experience, and that's the only thing that Brooks lacks. Jeff Blake has a long, tough road coming back from a real nasty broken foot. But he is anxious. I saw him at practice the other day, and he would love nothing more than to be out on this field. But he's giving his support, Darren Brooks. He knows that for the Saints to get their first playoff win ever, it's going to take everybody.
See how this song, I always bring it up, and you never know what I'm talking about. This is Enter Sandman by Metallica, one of the greatest songs of all time.
Thank you, Casey Kasem. Toby going his kick, fielded at the 4-yard line by Tony Horn, and then he drops it out of bounds. And the Rams, who are without a timeout, they took their last timeout before Bryan kicked the field goal to save some time on the clock, find themselves pinned.
The Rams really thought by having Tony Horn back this week, bringing back kickoffs, it would be a tremendous advantage to them. Best thing he did there that time was escort this ball out of bounds before the Saints could get down and recover.
Hypothetically, if I return kickoffs for a living, that's how I would do it.
So at the 10 now, Larry Pasquale, the special teams coach. First year, Larry around for a number of years, most recently with the Jaguars. First down at the 10-yard line for the Rams without a timeout. And they give it to Falk. And Marshall gets banged back after a gain of 3. Let's go down to Eric.
Well, what I did, I asked some of the offensive players how do they feel about the Rams defense. You know, they've had a lot of games they've been in, and the Rams defense have let them down. And surprisingly, the guy said, you know, a lot of that is our fault. We score too fast sometimes. We put out defenses and sometimes in uncompromising positions. And I was very shocked. They said, you know, as a football team, what we do, we just stick together.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to hang your defense up by going over 5,000 yards in a season. Huh?
2nd and 7. The Rams are going to be content to run out the clock. If the Saints stop them for no gain here, they may take a timeout. They have 2 left. This is Falk, and they stop him for a loss. And now let's see if New Orleans takes a timeout on 3rd and long. And they do, so the Saints take a timeout.
The one thing the Rams know is if they give the ball to number 28, he's not going to fumble. Hasn't fumbled all year long. And you can see as Darren Howard goes in there, the Saints are looking for the ball. But watch how closely Falk holds it to his body. Never swings it out away from his body. Therefore, he's less susceptible to fumbling.
Check in with Melissa.
Well, Al, they have reevaluated cornerback Alex Molden. Originally, they said that it was a stinger. Now they're saying it is a mild concussion. They're going to hold him out for now and see if he can play in the second half.
Interesting, because he'd been hurt, then he came back in. Now they've taken him out.
Boy, Jimmy Haslett and his staff made some great adaptations during the week on Falk, didn't they, Al? Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Well, Haslett, I mean, it's either Haslett or Andy Reid are the guys who just pulled off miracles this year, Reid in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Fisher's a stud too, though, man.
Yes. Well, the problem is for Coach of the Year, it's always who made the most out of the least. 3rd down and 10. And that's thrown out of bounds. So with 31 seconds left, the Rams are forced to punt. Thing about Hazlitt, he was one of 4 guys interviewed by Randy Mueller. Mueller got the job. He interviewed Dom Capers. He interviewed Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator at Denver, and he interviewed Art Shell twice, and then Hazlitt the 4th guy.
Well, can't quibble with this choice. Although you look at Art Shell's record during the regular season, I was surprised, man. He had a really great record.
Took the Raiders to the AFC Championship game during that run in L.A. Baker's kick. A flag is down in the end zone. It is Morton who will run it back, and Baker was run into. The question is the 5-yard or 15-yard variety by Fred McAfee. It appears to be the 5-yard variety, the garden variety. It was 4th and 10, so they'll have to kick again.
Watch Baker keep his leg out there, too. He kept his leg out there long enough for McAfee to run into it.
That should be about a 3-yard penalty.
That should be a 2-year contract with the Rockettes, keeping it up that long.
What the Saints lose, though, is 11 seconds.
Still have 1 timeout to work with. But with Joe Horn out, I would expect that the Saints would be looking for Jake Reed a little bit.
The Rams are going to decline the penalty because why punt again and you know run the risk of an errant snap or a block kick? So the Rams are basically saying, forget it, forget the penalty. If you can go 20 seconds and get yourself in field goal range, more power to you.
And John Baker had 1 punt blocked earlier this year against Kansas City.
So the penalty is declined. The Saints need about 20 yards or so to get in Bryant's field goal range. The ball is at the 48. Brooks. And throws that one into the bench area. Intended for Willie Jackson, covered by Dexter McGlean, and that took 4 seconds.
Well, that was a pretty smart pass, because if you're not outside the tight ends, you have to at least sell that pass that you're throwing away by getting it reasonably close to your receiver, or they're going to flag you.
Yeah, he did a good job with that. Talked about Bryant's range. His career long is 56. He's had 2 field goals blocked this year. Both of them were long ones, one a 51 and one a 52-yarder. So that's what's going through Hazlitt's mind right now. When do I let this man go for it?
Get it into the barn, Jimmy. A nice first half.
2nd and 10. It's caught. It's over the middle. Trying to get into field goal range is Jake Reed, and he's able to get out of bounds with 8 ticks left. The line of scrimmage will be the 41, so you're still talking about a 58-yard field goal attempt.
The Saints are fortunate to have Jake Reed back from his broken leg. He's a veteran. He's been in playoff games probably as much as anybody on this outfit when he was with the Vikings. They have time now with that 1 timeout to get at least 5 yards down the field, maybe 10. Try to hit the tight end, perhaps, over the middle. Call timeout. Bring on the field goal team.
Line of scrimmage is the 40. Brooks throwing to the outside, and that's incomplete. And now they're down to 5 seconds. So it's probably the end zone or nothing.
Yeah, because if his 2 kicks over 50, or he's had 2 over 50 blocked, I don't think you.
Well, that's kind of normal because they have to drive the ball. They have to hit it a little bit lower. No wind, obviously, here in the Superdome, so that's a real benefit to any kicker. Decision now, do you go for the end zone? I think that's what they're going to do.
Of course, a 57-yard field goal in New Orleans is child's play for these people. They've seen longer.
Mr. Dempsey outside. New Orleans is going, well, they're going to take their final timeout here. And why not? I mean, you might as well bring your quarterback over and call a play, even if you save it, Dan. I mean, the chances of you being able to complete a pass and calling timeout within 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, you've got to go for the end zone here. Kid's got a big arm. You got Jake Reed, who's 6'3". You got Willie Jackson, 6'1". They can get up in the air, and crazier things have happened this year, haven't they?
Most of them on Monday night. Citrus Bowl, Rose Bowl, the whole thing happening coming up. Big bowl day, New Year's Day, right here on ABC. Michigan against Auburn gets it started. Rose and Fiesta Bowl to follow.
I'm feeling Willie Rowe tackle eligible right now. Just got a feeling.
Barring a defensive foul, this will be the final play of the half. They throw it into the end zone, and nothing but Rams there.
Bad feeling on the Willie Rowe thing.
You'll get over it. Into the half, and the New Orleans Saints, champions of the NFC West, down 7-0 early, now lead 10-7. Toyota halftime show coming up when we return after this message from the National Football League and a word from our ABC stations.
This is Leroy Glover of the New Orleans Saints. He donates his time to the United Way at a local kitchen in his community.
One them over here. Okay, go get the potato.
It takes a long time to prepare the 1,500 meals that are served here weekly. But the satisfaction of preparing meals to feed so many is very satisfying to Leroy. Very satisfying.
New Year's Day, as much a part of college football as ABC Sports. The festivities begin live at 11 a.m. Eastern with the Tournament of Roses Parade. Then at 1 Eastern, Michigan faces Auburn in the Capital One Florida Citrus Bowl. Then at 4:30 Eastern, the Bowl Championship Series kicks off as Washington meets Purdue in the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T. At 8:30 Eastern, Oregon State meets Notre Dame in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Celebrate a New Year's Day tradition with ABC Sports.
So you think you know clearance? You haven't seen anything yet. Meridian Ford is blowing out all the remaining 2000s. This could be your last chance for the biggest savings of the year. Excursions up to $7,000 off. 2000 Tauruses as low as $15,995. And nicely equipped four-door Explorers only $23,995. Hurry, it's first come, first serve, and the selection is going fast. The final 2000 clearance at Meridian Ford, making friends since 1960.
You want to live it. You know you dream of it. The mountains are full of it. And Snake River Yamaha has it. Your Yamaha snowmobile is waiting for you at Snake River Yamaha. Get yours while the selection is great and the price is even better. Only at Snake River Yamaha, Idaho's only Yamaha Superstore.
Judge Judy, weekdays at 4 on KIVI, Idaho 6.
The Toyota Halftime Show, brought to you by Toyota. More choices, better selection. Experience Toyota today. Here now, Chris Berman.
Happy holidays once again, everybody, along with Steve Young. So 10-7 Saints at half, seemingly down to no bullets on offense now that Joe Horn is hurt. And the greatest show on earth, the Rams, running out the clock, or trying to at the end of the half. To quote Vince Lombardi, what the hell is going on out there?
What a shocking development. I mean, you're going to say arguably the greatest offense in the history of the game, coming in with over a minute and a half, and they're going to sit on it. It makes you wonder. We talk about the Ram defense has actually done pretty well, but the problem is they don't know who to double anymore because Joe Horn's out of the game. They're a little bit a little confused. But really, if you think about it, Kurt Warner early in the game, hot, but then that concussion, maybe the blood starts to flow and gets a little bit, because you've seen a lot of wide passes, the interception. I don't know, the Rams seemingly very odd behavior here at the end of the second
Brooks
quarter.
And the Saints with the lead. Well, the playoffs got off to a roaring start, did they not, Steve? They certainly did. In 1971, Gary Yepremian, pretty much made a name for himself in Miami Dolphins playoff annals. In overtime, 29 years later, Lamar Smith put his name into Miami playoff lore. 3 picks in the first half of Jay Fiedler by the Indianapolis Colts, fittingly in South Florida, all by guys named Chad. That one by Chad Cota, who was 14-0 at the half, the Colts. But that famed Jay Fiedler to Jed Weaver touchdown combination with under 40 seconds to go ties the game at 17, and we're moving to overtime. Normally dependable Mike Vanderjagt, 49-yard field goal, a bad shank. Could have won it for Jim Moore and company. No good. 11.5 minutes into the overtime. Running on second down, a lot of teams would have kicked it. Lamar Smith caps off a record-setting performance. 17-yard touchdown. 23-17 Miami over Indianapolis for Coach Dave Wannstedt.
Hey, we win around here by playing special teams, playing great defense, and running the ball. 200 yards rushing today.
Lamar Smith, 209 yards rushing. Only Eric Dickerson has run for more in the playoffs, and the 40 carries breaks the old mark of 38 in the postseason by John Riggins and Tampa Bay's Ricky Bell. So, Miami now moves on to play another offensive-minded team. They'll be at Oakland next week. And what about Jay Fiedler? You said on the pregame, Steve, that replacing legends, as Fiedler has done with Dan Marino, that you were defined by what you do in the postseason. Pretty good definition so far.
And then how do you think he felt at halftime? He'd thrown 3 interceptions, did 14-0, and I got to give him a lot of credit for kind of the second half and then leading that last drive in regulation. He really did a lot of that, and I give Jay Fiedler that emotional attachment with the Miami fans as they left Pro Player Stadium. This is the beginning, hopefully, for a long career for Jay.
So Miami wins it, and Jim Mora, Peyton Manning, got to wonder what they got to do to win a playoff game as the Dolphins, AFC East champs, beat their division rival, the Indianapolis Colts, in the rubber game, 23-17 in overtime. Kurt Warner to Isaac Bruce, that's put the Ram on the board, but surprise, the Saints wearing white at home, leading 10-7 at the half. Al Michaels, we're back with more of the Toyota Halftime Show in a moment. He was no stop.
It is a thrill, a minute. But time is almost up on Toyotathon 01. Hurry to Toyota's blockbuster sales event of the year for great values on our best. Like the legendary and reliable Camry. Just one ride, and you'll know why. It's been the #1 selling car in America for 3 years in a row. Toyotathon 01. Get there before the thrill is gone. Hurry, ends January 2nd.
The Bowl Championship Series, as much a part of college football as ABC Sports. On New Year's Day, Washington faces Purdue in the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T. Then Oregon State meets Notre Dame in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. January 2nd, Miami takes on Florida in the Nokia Sugar Bowl. And on January 3rd, #1 Oklahoma battles #2 Florida State for the national championship in the FedEx Orange Bowl. The Bowl Championship Series begins January 1st, only on ABC.
Perfect.
And back we come to the Superdome in New Orleans, where the Saints trying to win a trip to Minnesota, leading the world champion Rams 10-7 at the half. The Rams #1 pick in 1998 out of Nebraska won. Grant Wistrom, third-year defensive end, 11 sacks during the regular season. We had Grant Wistrom mic'd up in the first half.
Go, fellas, just like last week, baby, just like last week. Beat them up.
Hey guys, pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. You never know how this team's going to show up. It's weird. It's so sometimey. We're going to get loose. All right, we'll see you, man.
We've been doing this for 16 weeks just so we can get one more chance to prove ourselves again. We go out today and we beat them up just like we did last week. There's no tomorrow. Everybody kick the out of the man across from you. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Let's go. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate. Let's go. Start quick, fellas. Hey, jump on their ass. Hey, we start quick, they'll quit. They will quit. There's still a lot of doubt in their mind. We start quick, we win this game. Let's go. Great game. Huh? Don't bring him down, just hit him. Yeah, I did hit him. Hit him harder. Come back in or not? Hey, let's go, D. Come on, pick this back up. Let's get back on a roll, baby.
Brooks, chased, throws, and is it picked off? Did he have possession? Yes.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, man. Let's go, fellas. Big series here. We got to get a stop. Let's go, dude. Come on. Good job, baby.
Grant Wistrom mic'd up at the half. Can the Saints win a trip to Minnesota? Can the Rams win a trip to the Meadowlands? Second half coming up from New Orleans.
It is a thrill a minute. But time is almost up on Toyotathon 01. Hurry to Toyota's blockbuster sales event of the year before the great values on Toyota's best are no more. You're in the driver's seat. Get there before the thrill is gone. Toyotathon 01 ends January 2nd at your Toyota dealer.
The Toyota Halftime Show, brought to you by Toyota. More choices, better selection. Experience Toyota today. We'll return with the second half kickoff after this from our ABC stations.
I want you to get together.
Dante Culpepper, you've shown me something. Brian Greasy, how? You have shown me something. Eddie George, ow! You've shown me a whole lot. All you guys have shown me something. But you know what? It's playoff time now. Yeah. And now you got to show me something more.
He's a grown-up on the outside, but inside, he's all boy. Robin Williams and Jennifer Lopez star in Jack, tonight on ABC.
The Capital One Florida Citrus Bowl, as much a part of college football as ABC Sports. Michigan faces Auburn, New Year's Day at 1, 10 a.m. Pacific.
It's the 2000 Leadership Clearance, where your Heart of the West Ford region is leading the competition in sales and safety. With Ford Windstar, the only minivan to earn a quadruple 5-star safety rating. Get low 09 financing or up to $1,000 cash back on great Ford cars and minivans designed with your safety in mind. Like Ford Taurus, named the best pick by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Or Ford Focus, the North American Car of the Year. It's the 2000 Leadership Clearance, only at your Heart of the West Ford stores.
You know, I really didn't like going to work with the job I had. I'm 43 years old, and the thought of spending another 20 years in that job just didn't thrill me. After going through New Horizons IT training, I have a great job. I make more than double what I did before. I love to come to work where I help lots of people solve problems and work more efficiently using computer technology. Now I look forward to a bright future.
Who are we?
We're real people just like you. If we can become IT professionals, so can you.
This portion of ABC Sports is brought to you by Roundtree Automotive. The following are translators for KIVI Idaho 6. Thanks for watching. We are KIVI Idaho 6. Montel Williams Show, weekdays at 3 on KIVI Idaho 6.
Trying to bring down me, the champion. When y'all clowns gon' see that it can't be done. Understand me, son. I'm the slickest they is. I'm the quickest they is. Did I say I'm the slickest they is? So if you barking up the wrong tree, we coming. Don't be starting nothing. Me and my partner gonna test your chest, loveless. Can't stand the heat to get out the wild. When I roll into the wild west. When I stroll into the when I bounce, can't stop the bum rush.
So how are the QBs done? There are the numbers for the first 30 minutes.
Kurt Warner got off to a great start. That opening drive hit 4 out of 5 in a touchdown pass. But since he just doesn't look like his normal self, I really got to believe that he's still feeling the effects of that concussion he suffered just 6 days ago here in the Superdome.
You know, the concussion he got last week wasn't even on a very big hit then, so maybe the one sack he did shook him up again.
He might have suffered that concussion underneath Warren's sack the week before.
Yeah.
At the 7-yard line. This is Tony Horn returning it to the 30-yard line. Ram offense just to reset it right now with Kurt Warner at quarterback, and then you've got Falk. Holcomb has played very sparingly here. Holt and Bruce outside, and Williams the tight end, and then the men in the trenches. Pace will be going to the Pro Bowl. He's the key guy. Newton, McCollum, Timmerman, and Tucker. And it was Ryan Tucker, the penalty on Tucker, that negated the 51-yard Marshall Falk run in the first half. Fred Thomas replaces Alex Molden at cornerback for New Orleans. From the 30-yard line on first down, it is tipped and incomplete. Tipped by Darren Smith, the linebacker.
We talked about Kurt Warner's good start. Now he tailed off. Aaron Brooks also was more effective in the first quarter, but both quarterbacks throwing pretty even there in the passing yards. 2 sacks of Brooks just one time for Kurt Warner going down. The amazing thing in this game is that the score. You know, the Rams only have 7 points, and the Saints hanging in there with the 3-point lead.
And the Rams 7 came on that opening drive. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Caught. Absolutely nothing. It's a 4-yard loss at the 26. It'll be 3rd and 14. Smith and Hand converge for the hit.
Now, one thing about this game, it started out the teams were doing a lot of trash talking like they did 6 days ago. A lot of posturing, a lot of in-your-face football, but it had settled down a little bit towards that second quarter when the importance of this game was realized by both teams. The Saints have no penalties so far. The Rams have committed 5, and 3 of them really cost them.
But by the end there, it looked like Valentine's Day.
I know. Deacon Jones would have blanched at that head slap.
3rd and 14. The play clock all the way down, and no play. Delay a game.
That's what I mean about Warner. There's no way that he can't get the playoff on time. There's a clock here.
Play of game, offense, 5 yards.
He just appears to be a little bit slow.
Let's check in with Melissa.
I spoke to Jim Haslett at the half. He said we've got to establish the run to take pressure off of Aaron Brooks. We've got to get our receivers open. Definitely feeling the absence of Joe Horn. Defensively, he said, I like what we're doing. We're stopping the run. We're getting after the quarterback. We're going to continue that. Now, an update on Alex Molden. He is out for the game with that mild concussion.
What's the earliest possible moment Trent Green becomes a viable contingency, Ben?
I think that if this series, I'm sure that he's telling March he's okay. So I think March is going to go for it with him as long as he possibly can.
3rd and 19, and that is caught at the 41-yard line, and forward progress will net a first down. Ricky Prohl makes the catch. Needed 19, got 20.
That's it. That's the veteran in Ricky Prohl in his 11th year now out of Wake Forest. You tell a guy like Prohl what you need, he's going to go get it. He's not going to get much after the catch, but you don't need to get much after the catch if the catch gets you the first down.
Earlier in the game, the Rams converted 3rd and 11 and 3rd and 15, and they convert on 3rd and 19 here. And this is Falk. And that's really nothing new because the Rams during the regular season on 3rd and 10 and more converted 31% of the time, highest percentage in the league. And it would figure with that offense. Here's Eric.
Well, I talked to Morris before, after the halftime, and he said one thing that they have to do, and that is try to control the ball. They want to try to run the ball a little bit more, which is surprising by the Rams. They love to run the football. And he said that the last time that they had the ball, and when they got that penalty to call Marshall Faulk's run back, he said that really took a lot of wind out of this football team. He said they want to try to play better football, throw the football more, just try to take control of this game.
Boy, I'll bet it did. He saw 51 yards go down the drain. 12 carries for 22 right now. Warner throws off his back foot, tip intercepted by Oldham. And Oldham, who is there to shadow Marshall Faulk, as the spy on Faulk covering Marshall, gets the pick. The former Steeler brought over because Haslett knew him so well.
And the reason Warner had to throw that ball off his back foot is because he had Darren Howard around his ankles. Actually, Joe Johnson, 94, was down there. And there's the pick by the University of Oregon Duck, Chris Oldham, who's playing a lot of middle linebacker in this 7 and 6 defensive back scheme of Jim Haslett and Ron Zook. Warner with pressure there, trying to squeeze the ball into Isaac Bruce, and the Saints were all over it. Right at the bottom, there's Joe Johnson being laid on. He knocks Warner down, and the Saints get their second pick.
Warner's like usually the absolute last human on the planet to feel pressure.
Oldham playing in his 8th postseason game. That's his first interception. 1st and 10 to the 45-yard line. They start on the ground. They give it to Terry Allen, who picks up 4 to the 41-yard line. Neither team with anything to speak of on the ground. Allen now 9 carries, 17 yards.
Well, Jimmy Haslett's got to love this. This is playing right into his wheelhouse. He's got obviously the dearth of weaponry, and he's got the lead right now. He's keeping the ball. Warner doesn't look himself. I'd say he's a happy camper right now.
2nd down and 6 from the 41. 11 and a half to go in the 3rd. Brooks throws. Jackson makes the catch, seeks the 1st down. Let's see where they'll spot it. Close to the marker at the 35-yard line.
Aaron Brooks now 7 out of 15. That first half, he took control of the ball game early for the Saints, using his head there as well as his legs. This escapability is what sets him apart. Rushed twice, rather 3 times for 17 yards, and this beautiful touchdown pass to Robert Wilson.
That last play nets a 1st down at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Gerald Moore is in the game as the running back. That's Morton in motion. They give it to Moore. Now they fake it to Moore. Brooks with great sleight of hand, and then he runs out of bounds after an 8-yard pickup.
Al, as you took off these names, it becomes more apparent what an amazing job the GM and coach have done down here. You're talking about Gerald Moore, and I don't disparage any of these people, but I mean, obviously they're not really known. Willie Jackson, Gerald Moore, Aaron Brooks, unbelievable job.
Aaron Brooks reminds me a lot of Randall Cunningham. They have about the same type of body and the speed and elusiveness to get outside.
2nd and 1 at the 26-yard line. Ball loose at the 24-yard line, and no signal yet except to stop the clock by Jerry Austin. And at the bottom of the pile.
Ooh, that's ugly in there right now.
Trying to get Kyle Turley out of there. He'll go in with anybody. He's going back in for a 2nd helping.
Turley last week recovered 3 fumbles, and the Saints have it. So Allen loses the football, but the Saints retain it.
I love it when the refs jump on top of a scrum. It's like when Cobain used to stage dive.
There's Allen. I think he recovered it himself. He's at the bottom there.
Looks like the handoff was never made cleanly. Whether you blame the quarterback or the running back, really doesn't matter. The big thing is that Saints retain possession, digging and scratching at the bottom of that scrum.
For what it's worth, the quarterback is charged with that fumble. When the handoff is not completed, as was the case there, it's charged to Brooks. At the 24-yard line, 1st down, and the Saints are going to have to spend a timeout 5 minutes into the 2nd half, to the consternation of one Jim Haslett.
You see that eye? Yeah. That little motherfucker, right?
Well, aloha. Huh? Aloha nui aloha.
Well, the ambient sound is interesting.
Yes, it is.
And that wasn't me.
It wasn't Dennis either.
I love the way you've decorated in here.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines coast to coast for $99 or less when you purchase tickets by January 16th and travel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
You are now free to move about the country.
In case of an emergency, make sure you're in the right vehicle. The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan, the best minivan ever, with a safety cage body structure, head impact protection, front airbags that deploy at different levels depending on conditions, and available side airbags. Dodge Caravan. It's not a minivan, it's a mini vault. The all-new Dodge Caravan. Different.
The family has always put in the forefront to protect the quality and the standards set by Adolphus Bush.
The deep sense of pride that my grandfather taught me, that my father continues to teach me.
I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
The Nokia Sugar Bowl, as much a part of college football as ABC Sports. Miami faces Florida. Tuesday night at 8, 5 Pacific.
Cafe Du Monde, open 24 hours a day, home of the beignet.
In American, that's Cafe The Monde.
Well, I don't think they serve that at Canyon Ranch.
Hey, can we replay that sound bite from before the commercial? I'm not sure what the man was talking about.
I don't think that was Melissa. The ball at the 24-yard line. Here's Brooks over the middle. That is caught by Willie Jackson. And Jackson seeking the first down, close to it.
Willie Jackson having himself a game.
And it's his running ability after the catch that's so impressive. Watch him step away from Todd Collins here, 54. Breaks that tackle, looking for the down marker, and gets it.
Yeah, pretty fearless, too, across the middle, Dan. He was right in the DMZ there.
That's a heck of a move there, and then jumping and getting that first down.
Or as they call it in New Orleans, the neutral ground. Not the median here on the freeway. It's the neutral ground. The ball at the 13-yard line. This is Terry Allen to the 10.
Looks like the Saints are trying to set up some type of bootleg with Aaron Brooks. They keep on first down giving the ball to Allen or Chad Morton or Gerald Moore up the middle. I wouldn't be surprised at some point that they don't fake that. We saw it earlier in this second half with Brooks getting to the outside.
3 trips to the red zone today for New Orleans. 1 touchdown, 1 field goal, 1 turnover. Second and 7 at the 10. Morton is the man in motion. Brooks to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Willie Jackson.
Not only did Brooks pierce the St. Louis Rams' heart with that throw, he also pierced Willie Jackson's. Couldn't have dropped that one. He stuck it right in his clavicle.
And the Rams are going after Todd, or rather the Saints are going after the Rams' Todd Light. Twice now they found receivers the Light had tight coverage on, but just a perfect throw has resulted in a touchdown.
Ryan for the point after. Kurt Warner is intercepted. Then the Saints go down the field. Jackson makes it pay off. Saints by 10.
Guess what the interior of the all-new Dodge Caravan is as quiet as? Dodge Grand Caravan, the best minivan ever. Different.
54-yard field goal, 5 seconds left. Their season all comes down to this. Here's the snap. The kick is up. It's got the distance. It's good. It's done. It's all over.
Philips digital recorder with TiVo, pauses live TV, and a lot more.
Craving more taste? More variety? All you need is 99 cents. Check out the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu with 8 items including our Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe, Chicken Tender Sandwich, and Tasty Jalapeno Poppers. Just 99 cents every day.
Last summer, you thought you saw it all.
But wait, there's more.
Scary Movie is back with unbelievable bonus footage, too shocking to show you on TV.
I'm trying to watch a movie in here.
Scary Movie on VHS and DVD.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Yeah, he is. He's losing big time.
Our esteemed colleague and your former partner, Dan Brent Musburger, here enjoying the game with his wife, Arlene. He'll be working the Sugar Bowl.
Making sure he's got the good beverage there. Watch this slant route and watch this fastball. Right between the eights. Todd Light can do nothing to stop Willie Jackson from scoring.
Brett with the shirt, sweater, and winter coat for the indoor game.
the kickoff. Bowen sends it down to the 12-yard line. Tony Horn. Only to the 22. Aaron Brooks, who's been a starter for a month and a half. 17-7.
Center console is just a euphemism for trash can. So in the all-new Caravan, Dodge did it differently. With a power outlet and places for everything, it's a regular personal organizer. It even moves from front to back. So no matter where you go, there it is. Dodge Grand Caravan, the best minivan ever. Different.
I was homeward bound. When the music.
New MSN Explorer. Everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place. Now MSN is faster than ever. Get new MSN high speed at Radio Shack today.
Hi, I'm Chris Carter. I'd like to talk to you about a problem that can happen in your city, your community, to someone you love. The inability to tell the difference between a bid price and an ask price, a market order and a limit order. But thanks to programs like Web Shops, Schwab is making a difference. At Schwab branches across America, they'll teach you all about using the world's leading online broker.
Last year, Schwab held over 10,000 web shops. To sign up for one or to attend our other workshops, call 1-800-9-SCHWAB.
Sorry, I love football, but I really love music.
Britney and LL Cool J host the American Music Awards Monday, January 8th on ABC.
We'll be doing the play-by-play.
ABC's presentation of this NFC wildcard game for New Orleans brought to you by Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. Phillips, technology that's making life a little better all the time. Dodge and nearly 3,000 dealers invite you to come see what's different. And Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
The Olympics here next year.
From the 22-yard line, Falk going nowhere. That's been the case all day, apart from the run that was called back on the penalty. Fields makes the stop. Marshall, 13 carries, 23 yards.
They have really been able to hold Marshall Falk in check. You talked, Al, about
that's
that 51-yarder I called. He called me Dan, too. That would work. But this is a good tackling football team. They are not going to be embarrassed 6 days apart by this man.
Good work, Harvey. Flag down. Jerry Austin, the referee.
Ball start, 76.
Orlando pace.
5 yards, still second down.
Kurt Warner's got to be wondering what happened after that first drive of the game when he went down the field and got the Rams a touchdown pass to Isaac Bruce from 17 yards out. That's the only sack of the game on Warner, but he has been under pressure, and he has uncharacteristically thrown a couple of interceptions. Sammy Knight picks that one off, and then under the pressure of Joe Johnson, Chris Oldham picks that one off to set up the last touchdown for the Saints.
2nd and 14 now from the 18-yard line. Warner rolling, hit as he throws, wobbly duck, caught by Torrey Holt, and Holt out to the 38-yard line.
Boy, a lot of balls coming out of Warner's hand with some twist on him, between balls getting batted and his arm getting hit, but he's completed a couple of them.
And look at how aware Torrey Holt is. Kevin Mathis grabbed his face mask there, got away with it. That ball was coming out end over end because Warner was under pressure once again. The play-action fake doesn't hold anybody because the Rams aren't running the ball worth a darn. Beautiful. Keith Mitchell from the back, Leroy Glover from the front.
Sorry, Dennis. Beautiful hands by Holt, too. Those are receiver hands there. Picked it.
From the 38-yard line. Warner over the middle, but not looking was Holt. Holt had gotten free.
Wow.
And didn't turn around.
You're going to get that free, you got to be looking.
Well, guys, it's pretty stunning to see the Rams at this point, especially the way they started out. That first drive, brilliantly conceived, perfectly executed, but that's been it.
Well, you got to give the Saints credit. They talked about being mad and embarrassed by the way they played last week against the Rams. And the whole feeling I got from Haslett, he's a no-nonsense guy. His team is playing football the way he used to play.
Well, Jimmy Haslett doing a heck of a job from Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Jimmy Stewart's hometown. So far today, it is a wonderful life.
To this point, he leads by 10 as they try to win that trip to Minnesota. Falk to the 39-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long.
Big Norman Hand getting in there and getting a chance to boogie-woogie a little bit after the tackle.
Well, the Rams, and of course, going back to their lineage, Cleveland, and then all of the years in Los Angeles, 0-18 in postseason when trailing by 7 or more points.
Here's big number 99, Norman Hand, always fighting off a double team. Marshall Faulk's going to come right back to him. And when you're 320 or so, Marshall's not going to go very far.
3rd down and 9. Warner throwing and nobody's home. 1 Ram, 3 Saints.
The Saints have got this man out of his rhythm, out of sync, and they're playing disciplined football, no penalties, although Warner and Martz were looking for one there.
Well, I know Martz is a loyalist, but if I'm him, I got Trent Green up in the pen. You just have to. You got to throw it all out there.
John Baker with a wobbly line drive end over end, set up for a run back. A kick like that, but Morton is covered by the Rams special teams unit and stopped in his tracks. 5:45 left in the 3rd. The Saints looking for their first playoff win in their 34-year history. Up by 10.
Here you are sushi and wasabi.
Wasabi.
Yeah, wasabi.
Wasabi.
Wasabi. Wasabi.
Wasabi. Wasabi.
Wasabi.
Wasabi.
Wasabi.
Wasabi. Wasabi.
Wasabi.
AT&T's wireless data technology can provide fast, easy access to over 100,000 websites designed specifically for handheld devices. Go ahead. Cut the cord.
Presenting the best minivan ever. The only one available with power sliding doors and a power hatch. Nothing else is remotely like it. The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan. Different.
Number 1 Oklahoma battles number 2 Florida State for the national championship. The FedEx Orange Bowl, Wednesday night at 8, 5 Pacific on ABC.
Back we come to the Superdome, New Year's Day on ABC. The Rose Bowl presented by AT&T from Pasadena. Keith Jackson and the gang will be on hand as Washington takes on Purdue.
That's not how you are is spelled. I'm telling you, you can laugh at me.
In some school districts it is. At the 25-yard line on first down, this is Terry Allen going nowhere.
Pretty unusual that we would have 2 receivers with identical statistics this deep into the game, but there you are. Isaac Bruce and Willie Jackson. Jackson matching Bruce perfectly. London Fletcher, number 59, skating behind that defensive line, coming up and making sure Terry Allen doesn't get very far. But the one thing the Saints have done is they've run the ball almost every first down. They've got to start changing that up a little bit.
Second down and 10 from the 25-yard line. It's incomplete, as looking around for a flag but finding none was Willie Jackson, the intended receiver. The last time the Saints were in a postseason game, they were leading Philadelphia 20-7 with 17 minutes left in the game. That was in January of '93 at the end of the '92 season. And again,